Public Enemy basically was a group that tried to raise the consciousness level of black people in particular, but the human family as a whole. If you understood the English language, and even if you didn't, even if you understood sign language or symbolism, you had an idea of what Public Enemy was about. And what I mean by raising the consciousness level of people, meaning that if you're living in America and you're feeling America's influence throughout the globe, you know that things in America just wasn't right, and it was a situation that called Public Enemy into existence to try to correct that problem. How many people are into rap music? Y'all into rap? I think rap is in a hell of a poor state today, and what I'm attempting to do today is give everyone a basic idea of where rap was, where rap is, and where I think it's going. All right? I have a 9-year-old. I bought her a book recently called Little Me and the Great Me. I don't know if you've seen that book, but if you have little ones, you need to get it. And even if you don't, it's something that we as adults need to understand. The little me is that little me that you kind of deal with every day. The great me is the great me that you need to take time and pull out of you. All right? When you look at the term education, it's from the Latin root educo, meaning to draw out of. It has nothing to do with going to school, putting something in. Education is the process of drawing it out. So God has deposited in you everything that you need to be you. All right? You just need to have a curriculum to bring it out. And keep that in mind, because if you don't understand that, you may be going astray in the straight path that God put you on. So when people ask me, and when I meet people, especially women, one of the first questions I ask a woman is, what is your purpose in life? Because if your purpose in life is not matching up with my purpose in life, then we can't hook up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you have to have a purpose. Mind you, the fact that she looks nice, she's cute, she smells nice and all that, I'm looking past that. I tend to tell people, I don't look at the symbolism, I look at the substance of a person. And I think that as a backdrop, that's how we need to look at some of the slides that I'm going to show today. Normally I would start with this slide right here simply because this should be the last slide. Simply because right now, this is a culmination of all the madness that each one of us in this room are being bombarded with on a daily and consistent basis. Are you following me? Whether you're getting it consciously or subconsciously, or subliminally rather, this is what's going on, has went on and is going on. All right. But what I'm going to try to do by the end of the lecture is either clear some of that up and then hopefully be able to erase this, at least from the people that are sitting here. All right. Now we got to carry in the African principle and put into practice the African principle. Each one teach three. And I'm saying that to say this. When I leave here today, your blood is off my hands. I'm no longer responsible for you. All right? It's up to you. And then the next 3 people that you meet, you're responsible for. Can we all agree with that? You say ashe. Can we agree with that? Ashe. The word ashe means so be it. In a modern context, we just say word. All right? All right, so let's move forward. This concept that they use over and over and over and over again is called the Hegelian principle, the Hegelian dialectic principle. And this principle is done in 3 steps: the problem, reaction, solution. It's done in problem, reaction, solution simply because the same person that caused the problem is the same person that fosters and forces you to react. Once opposing forces react to one another or to the problem, people cry out for a solution. And guess who gives you the solution? The same people that caused the problem. They do this over and over and over and over again. You know, we created this thing called hip hop, but we have to use their medium to send hip hop through to reach the masses of the people. They add their frequency to it, corrupt it, put it out there, then turn around and say, okay, see the niggas? You see how they act? You see they're killing, shooting, fighting one another. This is a trick that they play over and over. Let's not be surprised at the term nigga, all right? So, I'm not going to use that word very frequently, but let's just not be surprised. That's how they talk. Sadly enough, we're the ones getting arrested because of this war on terrorism. What does the war on drugs, the war on AIDS, the war on education, the war on poverty, What do they all have in common? Abstract terms, what else? They don't exist. Where's the end result of any of them? Okay, maybe I'm lying, maybe I'm wrong. The end result of the war on education is what? You play lotto every damn week to give the people the money to fund the educational programs, which is stupid. Because you're weakening and you're wearing down the moral fiber of the people by having them gamble legally. We all should know about COINTELPRO, the FBI's counterintelligence program by J. Edgar Hoover. If you don't, you need to put this in the search engine and study it, because now you're being affected by it simply because now it's the Patriot Act 1 and 2. In the Patriot Act 1, they have the right now to pull up next to you in a van, snatch your ass off the street, pull you in, try you, convict you, and execute you without anyone knowing. Thank you. Don't you think you should read this? The purpose of the COINTELPRO was to do what? Prevent the rise of the Black Messiah. They thought the Black Messiah was coming from one of these groups or one of these organizations or one of these individuals. As a result of the COINTELPRO, brothers and sisters right now, and Brother Kalanji in the back, raise your hand, brother, can attest to this because he stays in contact with the political prisoners. They're in jail right now. Now, what do we do to thank them and to support them being out on the street? Absolutely nothing. You don't write them letters. You don't do anything. But these are the brothers and sisters that kicked down the door during the turbulent 60s that made it possible for us to be sitting in this classroom today. And the thanks we give them is what? Absolutely nothing. Because what happened to the Black Power movement that was so strong on every college campus? Died. Stokely Carmichael in Ready for the Revolution, well, that's his slave name, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, the necessary re-education of blacks and a possible solution to the racial crisis can begin, strangely enough, only when blacks fully recognize the central fact that their lives, the white man, is their bitter enemy. For this is not a ranting of a wide-eyed radical, but the calm, unmistakable verdict of several thousand years of documented history. Malcolm X said, we declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary. Stop dealing with this as a bumper sticker or a damn t-shirt. We got to know and understand this and bring this principle into practice. I want to add on to that and not only say by any means necessary, by every and all means necessary. Whatever it damn takes, are you following me? To reach the masses of our people, to raise the conscious level of our people. That Public Enemy attempted to do with the mind revolution that we set forth to do. I want to bring it back to slavery. I want to bring it back to that time where we used coded slave songs that we sung in the field to give not only militancy, but the spirit to put in our people in order to want to be free. Someone took the revolution off track. Revolution means complete constructive conscious change. There was one brother that stood bad enough and bold enough, but we lost him, and that was your father, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Kool Moe Dee said, he wrote a book and he said there's 50 great MCs. There's a God on the mic. All right? And this statement is actually true because we are all gods and goddesses. All right? And I'm not just saying it to make somebody feel good. We're going to prove that in a minute. We're gods and goddesses having a human experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So now when we write, let's stop writing from this cheap surface perspective. Let's tap into the God and the goddess that's in us and come up with liberation songs. Let's come up with songs that actually mean something. Let's come up with songs that's going to transcend time. Are you following me? Because there's people all over the world looking at black people in America as though we're supposed to be the ones that's guiding this hip-hop thing. And when they see you taking your clothes off and talking about madness in the movies and on TV, they're like, wow. So we got to be very, very, very careful. If we're not, Dr. Khalid died in vain, for nothing. Malcolm X did what he did for nothing. Because what we're trying to do is link up with those brothers in Africa and in Brazil and other places, in Indonesia and other places. Am I right or wrong? I also wanted to say here, we're constantly creating. Elijah Muhammad even said that the black woman is the co-creator to Allah. So your role is real important. So to sit back and watch BET and watch you take off your clothes, it's like, damn, it's all over with. To see you run wild, you understand what I'm saying? Because if you're the co-creator, we have no choice if we let the black woman just do whatever the hell she want to do. All right? And I'm putting a challenge out there to the positive sisters. Y'all might need to step up and check those sisters that y'all see on the video. There was 10 years of hip-hop history that young people making hip-hop today have no clue about whatsoever. They can't give you a timeline or tell you what MC wrote what song and did what. They can't tell you collaborations. They can't tell you anything about hip-hop. Their earliest recollection of hip-hop is 1995. Are you following me? This book, The Oral History of Hip-Hop's First Decade. Yes, yes, y'all. We need to get this so we can be equipped to pass on this 10-year history down to this generation that know what the hell they doing. Because during the process of breaking us down and making us slaves, that tradition of grandfather sitting the grandson on the lap and telling him the stories, the oral so inside of the story is hidden messages and pregnant meaning and things that only can be passed on from father to son. And then the whole idea of sitting the grandson on the lap to feel the muscle vibration, to pass on that spirit, that's lost. That's lost. That oral tradition is lost. Words have a vibration. How come you think when you call the sister out her name, brother, you get slapped upside your head or hit with a frying pan or something? It's that vibration that does something to her soul. So words have a pattern, and that pattern is written in the DNA, man. There's no way in the world I'm telling you, there was an experiment, and somebody correct me if I get it wrong. There was an experiment by some Japanese people on water. How many people have seen the experiment? And you've seen what the bleep do we really know? It's in that movie, if you can get the movie. One of the other lectures I do is Hidden in Plain Sight, where we decode the movies. Well, the experiment was this. A group of people got together and they spoke ill, nasty, derogatory words to one glass of water, and they praised the other one. And guess what happened to the glass of water that they were talking down to? It turned black. Whoa. Words can kill, man. That tongue is like a two-edged sword. You can build somebody up or break them down. This, the white boy, your natural enemy, knows. That's how come he wants to control the hip hop. Because he knows once we get the word in the youth's head and give them a proper example, they know what the youth are going to do. See, that generation coming up under us is the ones that are supposed to take him out of here. Right. And they know that. Right. So they got to kill off the public enemies, the KRS-Ones, all those that came speaking truth to power. The dead prez, you understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Saigon and the rest of them. Come on. The Mortal Technique. Let's move on. All right, if you don't know this, you should know this. But let me just run through this real quick. All right? Everyone in this room will be judged regardless whether you know it or not, or whether you want to be judged or not. Real quick. This is where white Western world get their judicial system from. Here's the judge. Here's the jury. Here's the scale of justice that we never get. Never get justice. All right? So, we're not going to go through the ancient Kemetic names. Let me just run through this real quick. I'm trying to be scholarly, but sometimes you just got to talk to our people. All right? So, he's passed on to the spirit realm. All right? His heart is being measured in a cup against the feather of Ma'at. Truth, balance, justice, and reciprocity. Right. Tahuti, here, Thoth, where white world, Western world get the term thought from. And they get the concept of the pen if you look at his nose. All right? They stole this concept and they stole a lot of things. I can't go into everything. Come on, brother. But they took stuff like this out of ancient Kemet and just stole the concept. That's all. So we're walking him to the hall of justice. Yes, sir. Before he's kneeling down and coming before the judge to judge his life. Where's his life written? Your life is written on your soul. So your heart is taken out and put into a cup to get measured against the feather of Ma'at. You'll know if you didn't pass because of the devourer here, which white people call the devil or Satan, will devour your soul. Are you following me? So because he's here, that means he's past. So when his deeds that was written down, his whole life was read to him, that's why we say in the 42 laws of Ma'at, thou shalt not, thou have not committed this. Thou have not done that. I have not, pardon me. Because those things are written on your soul and it's read back to you when you pass on into the spirit realm. So because he passed, that's why we use the term today, we're going to give him a ghetto pass. We'll validate or restamp his ghetto pass. All right, so he passed on to the spirit realm. Now he has to kneel before the Lord. Are you following me?
Come on.
Now that's it, not in a nutshell, but real quick. So Riri and Man and Tay can get it, and Peanut can get it in the projects, in case you show them this DVD. See, we have to speak their language. Yeah. Now, if I came talking, using all the metaphysical terms and this, that, and that, they may not get it. Now, you take it, put it in that fine language that you know, and explain it to them. Can you do that?
Right.
Oh, let's move forward. I forgot one very important point. Wow. Before you even enter into the hall of Ma'at, they announce you by your name. I'm going to say that again in English because y'all didn't respond like I thought y'all was going to respond. They're going to announce you by your name. What is your name? No. It's Johnson, Jones, Culpepper, O'Reilly, O'Toole, and O'Fool, right or wrong. No, you need your damn name. Remember I said earlier when your mom called you when the street light came on and they called you by your name? That's the thing that gets you in line. That's the thing that lines your chakras back up and your aura. What is your name though? See, but the cracker named you and you called by his name. So when he called, that's who you respond to. So when you take on his name, you respond to him. You don't respond to the ancestors. You don't respond to the call. That's why when the Adhan is being sounded, right, you don't respond to that because you don't know what that's about.
Right.
So I said a good name is better than gold. This is what Elijah Muhammad taught us.
Yes, sir.
And it is, because why are you calling yourself C Murder? And they got you in jail for murder. Come on now. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
That's that vibration. We love the brothers. You understand what I'm saying? But we have to state the facts. And get our younger ones to understand so they don't end up on the cover of the Source. Hip hop behind bars. What you doing with a name like Benny Siegel? I love Beans. Me and him are cool. But just that vibration. Who was Benny Siegel? A Jewish gangster. Like Meyer Lansky, right. But you tapped in on that frequency. Are you following me? Project Pat. You ain't never coming out of the projects, dude.
Come on.
Because you still stuck in that frequency. Pimp C and everybody else. Are rappers the new target of America's criminal justice system? We got to add another criminal. Are rappers the new target of America's criminal justice system?
Right.
Why do you think they put new? What the hell was the old? No, seriously.
Right. Come on.
The whipping of Kunta Kinte to change his name to Toby. You got to go back and watch that movie and study it. That name, when you call by your name, it calls you back in line to your duty. Are they talking about the God power that is present in black people? The scripture says ye are all gods, children of the Most High God. Why do rappers take on the name of people who imitate them? So they said on the cover of Time magazine, God is dead. Why? Because we stopped giving it up. We stopped going to the spirit realm and bring it down and put it in the physical plane. So they had to ask the question on the cover of Newsweek, art or obscenity? We've always looked at the naked woman in ancient Kemet or in the interior of Africa. But we didn't rape her and call her names and pinch her booty, did we?
No.
No. Did we?
No, sir.
See, they don't understand the realm in which we operate in, that frequency. This is the frequency right here. This is that frequency, man. This is what you getting. BMF.
Yes, sir.
You getting smack. And we imitating these people. And all we're doing is just kind of feeding it back. The dog returns to his own vomit. And some of y'all got these DVDs and don't play it off like you don't. I'm serious, you do. Brothers, I'm sure y'all got that one right or wrong. And act like y'all don't know who Buffy is. Y'all know these things. Y'all just didn't think Professor Griff was going to come in and pull your card. You understand what I'm saying? So we imitate these people. You see, this is a prime example right here. Carlito's Way 1 was made by Al Pacino, and your man Puffy turned around and make the next one. So does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? We got to ask ourselves that question. I think this is, no. I think I put them all in order for you. Tell me that year. No, I'm talking about the year that we're supposed to overcome this madness. What year would that be if it's supposed to last 300 years?
2012.
2012. How much time do we got? 6 years. What you gonna do, brother? I'm serious, straight up, man. I'm gonna start handing out roller skates and rocks. And if you're gonna continue to be a punk, brother, and not defend the woman and not defend your own children, then we gotta talk to you seriously, man. There's no reason in the world why we gotta have the black woman stand up to defend the culture of hip hop.
That's right.
We have to do that. But we're suffering from this. A lot of us suffering and we don't know it. And every time I find myself doing something out of line, I'll say, oh, that's that Willie Lynch shit. Let me go, let me check that. You understand what I'm saying? No, I'm serious, because that cat, what's his name? Aaron McGruder, who does the Boondocks, he had a very important episode called the nigger moment. Did you see that one? Yeah. Well, all of us in this room find ourselves in the nigger moment. One time or another, right or wrong. No, seriously, right or wrong. There's a couple of sisters I know that's shaped like the Hottentot tribe. So I'm walking through the mall, and I don't know if y'all been to Atlanta. The brothers are very physical. They pull and tug on the women. All right, that's a no-no where I'm from. I was born and raised in Long Island, New York. We don't play that. If I'm walking with you, sister, ain't nobody gonna be pulling on you like that. Nah, dude, what's your problem? But I got caught in the nigger moment because he's trying to holler at her, talking out of the side of his neck. I said to myself, okay, I could do one or two things. Whip his ass and probably end up in jail because I'm at the mall. Or say something to him and get into a physical confrontation in the mall and we arguing back and forth and neither one of us win. Or I could just kind of pull him aside and say, yo, dude, don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? There's a better way you can approach that situation. As a matter of fact, that ain't even my girlfriend. I just met her last week. So if you truly wanted to kick it, she probably want to give you some play, but you're going about it the wrong way. But the thing is with the sisters, y'all don't know how to take the compliment. Just like the brothers don't know how to give it. Because we've been listening to the songs so damn long. She's been listening to ain't nothing going on but the rent. And you've been listening to bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. So now we listening to that and you listening to the other thing and we can't get along. Well, that's what the white man want. So my brother put the book together, The Sex Imperative. All those songs that we used to sing, even Marvin Gaye and Rick James. It's the same kind of frequency. We've always been PC, but you got to understand something. We understand this thing different than the white man understands it. But he uses it and changes the frequency to make it seem like it's a nasty, low-down thing. And it's not. And it's not. It's just that we stuck using the white man's language. Elijah Muhammad said, how the hell are you going to free yourself using the enemy's language? So we may run up on a sister and say, yo, what's up, ma? Not knowing and understanding, we're talking about Ma, the mother goddess, the macro womb of the universe. Ma. You understand what I'm saying? But the white man turned around and made it mean something else. How do I have proof of that? Simply because there was something after the beginning. After we came out of the triple darkness. We gave life and light to everything, man. Everything in Pangea. Pangea meaning when the landmass was all one landmass. Elijah Muhammad called it Asia. That's why he called us the Asiatic people. Are you following me? Yeah. But no, we constantly attack the womb because we don't understand the macro womb of the universe. You all know who this is, right? Do you realize how important this black man is? Even back in that day, he was talking about the Zulus with his Zulu nation. You know how powerful that was? At a time when nobody was talking black, he went back and got an African tribe to name his organization after. That's powerful. This was the precursor to the Public Enemy situation. This was deep. We may not look at it so deep because we look at the Zulus as just some defeated tribe. But we have to carry on the spirit of the Zulus. Are you following me? You see, that spirit right now is in the young people, but we don't recognize it to harness it, to guide it. We just think they're going crazy. Bambaataa is the godfather of hip hop, and Hustle Simmons is the godfather of shit hop. Shit meaning strategic high intensity training. Hustle Simmons set up a parallel universe next to this thing that we created. He calls it hip hop. And ever since this, hip hop has been taken off the path and hip hop's frequency has been changed. Are you following me? That's in a book called Hip Hop Decoded by Black Dot. Who remember this song? Yeah. Come on, talk to me. This was one of the most instrumental hip hop songs ever. Yes, sir. But a lot of the young people that are in hip hop never even heard the song. He said, don't push me, because what? Close to the what? And? Right. But what was he saying to us? See, the society is pushing him to the edge. And he's turning around and saying, look, I'm trying not to lose my head, dude, for real. And we use hip hop as a way to express ourselves. But nobody was listening. Nobody was listening. So the KRS-Ones got unnoticed, or they go unnoticed now. The brand Nubians go unnoticed. The poor righteous teachers go unnoticed. All right? Y'all know who this is? Rick Rubin. The guy who studies white and black magic, the architect of hip hop. Now Jason attests to this. The only way he could be the architect of this thing called shit hop is he has to find a portal in order to go through that portal, that doorway. All right? That thing that'll let him in and give him access to us. That thing, or that person, is Russell Simmons. And the title speaks for itself. It's life and death, sex, drugs, money, and sometimes God. And this is exactly what's going on in hip hop today. People are dying to live their life, right or wrong. Seriously. They're dying to live their life, and they're chasing the acquisition of wealth, and they're going after the sex, the drugs, the money, and then when they go up to receive their reward, they thank God. This is the image that we're trying to destroy in a young person's mind. All right? Simply because they think that this is hip hop. Let me say that again. The average young person thinks that this is hip hop. Not to mention all the other things that hip hop is about. Now I'm going to test everyone here. Somebody tell me the 4 basic fundamentals of hip hop. What is it? B-boying? You sure? Okay. Breakdancing? Okay. MCing? DJing? And graffiti. Okay, if that's the 4 basic fundamentals of hip hop, whence came the pimping, thugging, hustling? What's all that about? Which element is that? How did that creep in? How did that frequency get into what we call hip hop today? Let's deal with it. If this is what we were dealing with, and this is what led up to hip hop, the black nationalism, having knowledge of self, black pride, political action and education, in black music, if all of this led up to what we now call hip hop, how did we get to the point where we're at now? Let's move forward. Some of those same people, ex-Clan, Sister Soldier, Poor Righteous Teachers, Lakim, Shabazz, Brand Nubian, KRS-One, Queen Latifah, Paris, Cam, Eric B. and Rakim. Elijah Muhammad said, if you knew better, you would do better. These are some of the ones that knew better and actually kicked down the door and kept consciousness in hip hop. What happened though? When Public Enemy came on the scene, we said it so loud and so raw, and we put it in your face. One of the ones that was so instrumental in doing that was your man Chuck D, was actually the voice of conscious hip hop. We did a song called Party for Your Right to Fight, where we said power, equality, and we're out to get it. I know some of you ain't with it. This party started back in '66 with a pro-black radical mix. That was the thrust of our whole thing. We wanted to raise the conscious level of black people in America and throughout the world via this thing we called hip-hop. Don't you think the enemy knew this and seen us going from taking off the gold dookie chains and putting on the African medallions? Everywhere we went, people was like this. We was resurrecting that spirit of the turbulent 60s, the Black Panther movement, and all the other organizations that fought for black liberation. So the enemy knew this. So he had to take it off its path. She just said straight up, rap music ruined my life. I'm really pissed. Ban rap music. You see, we stuck between the rock and the hard place because the older people don't see the benefit of hip hop. It was something to be a hip hop artist back in the day and be part of hip hop, well, regardless of what you did. Now, we're almost ashamed. You understand? If you ask the average person about hip hop, it's like, I don't know, I'm not really checking, I don't know. Well, what you bumping in your car? I don't know, they got some other stuff playing. I say hip hop is brain dead. It's there, you see the outline, you see the shell, but there's nothing in it. It's like going to somebody's house, you're knocking on the door, the light's on, but ain't nobody at home. Hip hop is so powerful that the people in France don't even realize that it's going through what it's going through simply because they held on to the consciousness and the other frequency of hip hop to the point where some French politicians claim violent rap lyrics stoked the violence. Y'all remember this a few months ago. Don't play like you don't remember this. They was burning everything down in France. I'm not saying hip hop wasn't a part of it, and even if it did cause them to do that, then good. It needed to cause somebody to do something. Now, I'm not advocating violence here. I'm just advocating do something, damn. This sums it up. We can end the lecture right here, but I got about 50 more slides. We can end it right here. This was us backstage stepping fetching right now would roll over in his damn grave if he seen what Flavor Flav was doing. So from this Viacom through MTV networks, through VH1 and MTV, this is what we end up getting. Either Snoop with dog leashes on black women. When are we going to say enough is enough? Seriously. When are we going to stop just getting Snoop's autograph and taking a picture with him? And not pulling his ass aside and say, yo, straight up dude, on the for real, the leashes around the black women's neck, that's sending a signal to younger women to letting them know that this is cool and this is not cool. This is not cool. But you see, it may be cool for you because of what you said earlier, the nigga moment, and we don't want to say nothing. But when this image goes across the world and these companies right here, these multinational corporations beam that image, these images across the world, this is how they view you, sister. So when they see you abroad, they view you like a bitch and a hoe. That's it. And that's how they expect you to act. Turn around, let me slap you on your ass or whatever. Brought to you by Nelly, Flavor Flav, and Snoop Dogg. Now see, but the blame don't end there. We got to go past them and deal with them. Are we able to can we take up that challenge now? But we got to go past them and let them know it's BET, MTV, VH1, and Viacom. Now understand the interesting mantra that you got going on here. When they give you these things as mantras and you say them real frequently as though they're a word. The ritual that you go through and the spirit that you give it, you're tapping into a spirit that when they put the spirit in you, as I said earlier, and they get you repeating the mantra over and over and over again, you give it power. And notice everything has this try to it, the three, simply because they got the majority of us hooked on. I'm not attacking anyone right now. They got you hooked on this Father, Son, and Holy Ghost exoteric thing. They got you always believing and thinking, as Christians, that you have this esoteric belief where you're waiting on some savior to come from somewhere and save your ass, which is the esoteric belief, as opposed to the esoteric belief you have to save yourself by pulling the savior out of you to save you. Are you following me? And that's real. So because you believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and you keep repeating this, they got you hooked on the try. Notice in the try, they took the woman out. and erected the penis. This is why we have so much homosexuality going on. So you buy into the ritual. And the ritual is feeding into the mantra. What is the mantra? The mantra is the try, the BET, which is 3. The VH1, the MTV, the 3 panels you have on every flag on the globe. Your first, middle, and last name is the mantra. Is the thing that we have to buy into, which brings you into their spirit. And what did I say earlier? Once their spirit is in you, they don't even have to be in your hood. They can control you with remote control. You will automatically go through your daily activities, write your songs, make movies, and systematically destroy yourself at the same time. And that's what we're doing right now. Nearly Fuller Jr. says in the book we affectionately call The Code, if you do not understand racism, white supremacy, anything else you'll attempt to understand will only confuse you.